Well, now something completely different, as they say. I'm Paul Hildreth from Planning, and in summary, my research question is, how do governance institutions influence local economic and social outcomes? In this presentation, I will set out an outline of my research framework, which is at currently an early stage. I'm looking at this issue from both a local and a national perspective, and in terms of the interaction of both. This includes identifying implications for a multi-level governance framework. The focus for my case study research will be on the Mersey Dee Alliance area. This functional economy crosses the national borders between North East Wales and North West England. It makes a claim to being the only cross-border significant functional economy in the UK. It has an area that's seen both dramatic decline of old industries and a remarkable resurrection of new ones. And it combines significant concentrations of manufacturing which operate interdependently with the regional services city of Chester. Though my research, I will be seeking to map formal institutions as well as understanding the softer institutional factors that guide conduct and culture, identify opportunities and barriers to collaboration, and understand how institutions and knowledge interrelate in the local economy. But what are institutions? They have been described by North as the constraints and rules governing human interaction, and as already suggested, they can be economic and governance and formal and informal. And in the literature, big claims have been made for institutions, particularly economic ones at the national level. They have been presented as causes of why nations fail, or why some countries are poor and others are rich. And even at a local and regional level, governance institutions are increasingly viewed as important. They might enable dialogue, the mobilisation of partners, integration, increased connectivity, a collective voice, and improved linkages. And they've been a central part of the UK, particularly English, subnational economic policy since the mid-1990s, with regional development agencies under Labour and local enterprise partnerships under the coalition government. But there are different viewpoints on their significance. For example, perspectives founded on neoclassical economic principles tend to downplay their role, particularly at local level, as they see the economic system as a metaphor, just like a smoothly adjusting river system. In contrast, modern place-based approaches, drawing on institutional and evolutionary economics, stress their significance. This is since a heterogeneous urban system might be pictured more like a river system of rapids and boulders, where development patterns are variable and knowledge about places is unpredictable and needs to be uncovered. With this background context, I'm now going to introduce my framework. The first task is both to map and understand the role of local governance institutions. This is to understand both the formal and informal softer factors that shape culture and conduct. So therefore I might find, for example, opportunities for problem solving, for taking a longer term view, for effective local leadership and so on, and challenges such as lack of trust, strategic capacity, issues around underbounding of local governance institutions, for example. The second issue is to explore the predictability of knowledge in the local economy through the perspective of firms. For example, why are they there? Why do they stay? How do they use the area? What do they seek from public policy? And then I will reflect on how institutions and knowledge interact. Third, I will go on to explore the local interacts with the national. This is not just in the formal relationships, but also to seek to explore how the underlying cultures and policy interact. As already indicated through this case study, I will have the opportunity to look at these issues through two national approaches, the UK English one and Wales, and drawing out, for example, the consequences and impact of devolution. And in that regard, questions might be raised about the national. For example, is there a culture of centralism? Does the centre really understand place? Is a 5-year cycle too short term? Is institutional memory weak? Is the dominant economic framework unspatial? Do capital city elites have undue influence? Overall, what outcomes might be expected? There will be insights into the role of local institutions in the context of place. A first study of a fascinating but little known economic area. Insights into the way that place might be important, or indeed otherwise, and a cross-country study of England and Wales. As one interviewee said to me, "We all know there is something substantive here. It is about how we really get under the skin and articulate what the Mersey Dee Alliance area really is all about. In short, my aim is to do so." What I'm seeking to achieve will be topical in the lead up to the 2015 general election and to what follows afterwards in subnational economic development policy. My intention is to make a useful contribution to this research. Thank you.